Episode 9 of Virgin Soul is what I would consider to be the breathing episode for the series here. Obviously, we're not going to just have this episode that kind of slows everything down, just has more comedic timing moments, and just not so much of the serious aspects that we've been dealing with for the past few episodes. And in doing so, it is one of my less enjoyable episodes. It's not my favorite. I'm sure there's going to be Favaro fanboys and fangirls who are saying this is the best episode just because there was a lot of Favaro. For myself, this was a necessary episode that kind of sets up the future events for the series. It seems like next week is probably going to be the prison break because of Nina's plan and everything like that. But this episode, it was enjoyable. I really enjoyed seeing the backstory. We kind of had a pretty good understanding of what happened with Nina and Favaro, but it was nice to have a pretty good chunk of the episode dedicated to the flashback, kind of Favaro kicking back, relaxing, having fun, just kind of flirting with the dragon women, and just the overall banter, and then Nina saying, you know, train me. I just thought it was very nice. It was fun to watch. It wasn't anything that complex, it was more basic, but it was just fun to kind of see the classic Favaro with Nina. But some of the stuff I appreciate the most with the episode is just kind of the throwbacks to season 1. Like seeing Cerberus in a brothel bar, like working at a brothel, seeing where they were in season 1 for people who watch season 1, it's hilarious to see them now as pretty much just prostitutes. It's like how the mighty have fallen comparing to where they were in season 1. Now, for people who never watched season 1, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but for those who did, that's a pretty nice throwback. I like seeing the Knights, and like it was there for like 3 minutes of the episode, but it was just like the best part of the episode because I'm like, are you serious? Cerberus is working in a brothel bar and the Orleans Knights are just like, I loved it. It was so funny. But there wasn't anything too, I would say, complex with the episode. There isn't a lot to kind of like really dive in and analyze. There was some cool stuff with Muguro, you know, and one of the angels saying, you know, I'm going to free your mother and things like that. It's kind of interesting when you think about Nina. She's kind of being used by all sides. Like, she is this, like, entity that all the sides want. It started off with Aziel saying, like, I'm gonna use this dragon's power. We're going to crush the humans. The demons are gonna rise again. And the demons can be, you know, just as bad as the humans are being. And now, essentially, the gods are going to be using Nina, it feels like, because at the end of the day, I feel like Cherries himself still has probably some respect for Nina, and I'm sure he's probably thinking, you know what, I don't like demons, but maybe having a dragon on my side wouldn't be the worst thing ever, so maybe I could kind of caress her into being kind of, you know, my girl and things like that. I could see him maybe thinking and planning if there's any way that he could somehow make the public accept that. But at the same time, it seems like the gods are probably going to also want to use Nina. I feel like Nina throughout this series is going to be someone who all the sides are going to pull for. All the sides are going to want to use her because she does have good power, and it's a nice kind of like bonus weapon to have if you're fighting a war against two other sides. So I like how now she's kind of being recruited to a different side, and it's going to be interesting what happens with Aziel, what happens with Cherries, and how she gets pulled around to different sides, because right now all she cares about is saving Muguro. So I would assume that she would follow pretty much the path that would guarantee saving Muguro. After they get to Muguro, who would she get pulled toward? Because she's kind of a dunce. She's not the smartest girl. She kind of just thinks with her heart. She's very strong, but she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like, we all know that. So it's very easy for other sides to pull her, and her not knowing if she's doing a good thing or a bad thing. And that's the most interesting aspect, I think, with this episode, comparing to how she's been pulled along to Aziel's sides, and now she's being pulled to a different side. If maybe Cherries himself could pull Nina to his side, that's what's going to be interesting, seeing how they can pull around. But the episode overall, I mean, it sets up the prison break, and we're only on episode 9 at this point of a 24-episode series. We knew they're not going to, you know, stick around in the prison forever, but it will be interesting how she escapes, especially because this is the prison that no one's ever broke out of. So obviously, there's got to be some magic probably protecting the place. There's got to be something, so I don't think just Nina's insane strength is going to be enough. But if we watch after the credits, we see Rita coming down, so it seems like she's probably going to have an influence in probably unlocking the front door, something like that. I think this episode was fun. It was nowhere near one of the best episodes in my opinion. It was fun, it set up what it needed to for future events, and next week is going to be really interesting. And ultimately, I'm just really interested to see what Cherries is going to think once they break out. Because I do feel like he's going to want to use Nina's power, because he's already stolen power from the gods, we know that. So if he could also have a demon on his side, he would have power from both the gods and the demons, and in theory, he could be indestructible, and I think that's probably going through his head on top of, damn, I kind of like this girl and now I realize she's the enemy. So that's going to be interesting. I just think overall it was an interesting episode. The art quality and animation quality is still top notch. There wasn't even really a dip in this episode. It's very impressive that just the level of care and quality going into this series, and the voice acting was really good as well. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you think the prison break next week's going to go out? Do you think Ryu's just going to open up the door for him and they're going to cause some distractions and run out with all the other prisoners? What do you think's going to happen? And before you leave, please be sure to like the video to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.